Okay, call of order to start our budget meeting, and then we're going to also stop the budget meeting for the moment to have an executive session.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay,
Do you need me to hang or are you guys good?
okay, you can just leave it on and.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to mute it. Just right down here, so just like this,
Okay, got it.
mute it and then click it back again to turn it back on.
All right,
Thank you, Veronica. Yep.
thank you, Norman.
Have a great session, guys. Are you going to executive session now?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll do it and then you can just click it back on. Thanks, Veronica. Yeah.
Let's do this after.
Um. We have to call back into session.
So I guess we're gonna resume the budget meeting session.
Okay.
Call to order.
Got
Are we muted?
I'm muted now.
He unmuted it. She
I
did.
unmuted.
You want to unmute it though for the meeting?
She did, right?
You are muted, it says. If you want it on or off.
Unmute. I did unmute it. See, the microphone doesn't have the red, there, see, it's
Yeah, we're
gone.
good.
We're good.
Yep. Looking good there in the middle screen there, Mark.
So in the general fund, the only thing, two things just to go over quickly. I did some work on interest income, which we haven't done quite a bit on lately. Our I-class balance is about $825,000 for the general fund. There's about $604,000 of unspent ARPA funds that's going to go away. Remove that from the equation, it brings an I-class down to $220,000, assuming a rate of about 4% and looking at about $8,800 for interest income. To be ultra conservative, I rounded it down to
For the upcoming year.
for 2025, I rounded it down to $7,500.
Sure, that's gonna be.
Far cry from the 45,000 that we budgeted in 24, so that stinks.
I had a pen.
We can get to one.
No, that's okay, just keep going.
What else? SPCA, we're still waiting on, but that's not gonna make a huge difference either way. Not a big number. Insurances, general insurance budget, a 10% increase there, on the advice of our, broker representative.
Right.
Thanks, Mark.
Workers' compensation insurance, I don't have any real guidance on this. Comparable to the general insurance, I increased to 10%.
So, do you remember the conversations from last year? We talked about, we actually reduced the workers' comp line last year because we were thinking about switching.
Oh, yeah.
Companies. Mark says he's looked into that. And what did that transpire?
Well, one of the big risks of doing that is that because those aren't giving a layman's rendition of this, but because of their lack of funding relative to the current provider, that if we decide to go with them and then switch back for whatever reason to a new firm, any type of claim that came from the past, from that year, wouldn't be covered. That makes any sense.
Okay.
Is that what the county plan?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And there, we're also on a schedule with our current provider where because of our low claim, you budgeted 10%, it's going to be closer to 3% or less. And there's a strong likelihood that there's not going to be increases for the next couple of years or very minimal. So I don't think we run that risk for.
I know we don't even pay it all out, because like the fire department, we have a budget of 14,000 for workers' comp that the town pays, but we only used 12 last year. So.
Yeah, we're established a good record where we're either having minimal or foreseeable no increases going forward.
All right, so I'll go and leave it at 10%. It's only $3,000
Yeah,
increase, just to be on the safe side.
And leave it at that. It's gonna be less than part. Percentage wise, much less.
We talked about highway, I believe, last time I was here, right?
And we what?
The highway budget. So yeah, we went over
Yep.
this.
Mhm.
Okay. Same with street lighting, water and drainage are all exactly the same as 2024. I'm going to do some work this coming month, once we get September out, or closed out, I should say, to get some better numbers on those. But I think any change is going to be a few $100s in each of those funds. I think it's make a big difference. Probably the biggest gaps at this point are Delphi Falls Ambulance, don't have anything from them, and Pompey Hill Fire, don't have anything from them.
Did we get Malleus again?
Manlius is in. Manlius went from 811,728 and 24 to 820,265, so respectable.
That's much better.
Than the year
And
before.
that's all collected from, anyway, from the
Property taxes.
I mean, it's nothing we have, it'd be nice to control, but it's the same rate that they're charging other people, the families.
It's actually not. It's based on,
So
you
based
look-
on property
if
value.
you look on there's varying rates, it's much closer. They were hosing us bad.
Really?
And yeah, it's gotten much better. But they have a meeting that we were getting invited to that nobody was attending, and I think we should go in the future. It's in April. At least, I mean, I'll be the representative if you want, because Bill and I and Jim are actually, they're all impacted by it. So I'd like to, hear what they're saying.
I don't know if anybody has contacts at Delphi Falls Ambulance or Pompey Hill Fire.
That'd be KVAC,
Yeah,
Yeah, KVAC.
which KVAC went to Madison County. They went to the Madison County program.
they got, really?
Yeah, because they got money,
Yeah.
which they have been sharing. So the county, they were given money up front if they participate in the program, and then KVAC has actually started like EMT programs and stuff out there to.
Do you have a contact out there?
I can find out.
And then Pompey Hill Fire.
Yeah.
There's a board meeting coming up that I have to attend
Okay.
either next week or the week after. But because of their funding that they've received from outside sources, I don't anticipate much of it, if any increase whatsoever
Okay.
Or
for KVAC, for Delphi Falls.
They were pretty reasonable the year before. They went from 18 grand and change to 19,006. So
Based on that, it's.
You're right.
At the same
You're right.
rate.
I was thinking, I remember seeing this. I was thinking that. You're right.
that's what I did. I put it in for 21 for now, and then
Yeah.
we'd fine tune it.
Yeah.
Same with Pompey Hill Fire. I used relatively the same amount of increase. Went from 542 to 559, almost 560. I jumped it to 580, another 20 grand in there.
Okay.
I think both of these were pretty late in the game last year. Outside of that, I mean, we're in fairly good shape.
Yeah, I should have that number in
Okay,
a couple of weeks, at the latest,
sounds good.
from KVAC for Delphi.
So general
I
fund
can tell
spending,
Tim Chrysler on the.
Okay.
Delphi Falls.
Pompey Hill.
so general fund, the amount to be raised by taxes is up about 3.26% currently. We did 594,457 for 24. We're going up to 613,852 so far. Highway is up about 2.57%. From $1,066,000 to $1,093,000.
What was the rate again in the general?
3.26%. We right now, I think, are under the tax cap.
Well, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Well, the tax base growth factor that you're allowed is 6%, or not, sorry, not 6%, 0.6%. So yeah, 0.6%, add that to your 2%. So you got 2.6% of what was raised last year. We're under about, we're under by 42,000. So
we shouldn't have to override the,
I would still do it.
you would still do it?
Yeah, just in case. We did it
We'll
last
always
year, right?
override
Yeah.
it, because if you don't, then you could screw yourself. So you override it first and then hope you
Right.
come under it. Sorry.
And the figures I'm working with are all preliminary. Nothing's final yet from the county. So I would, that the 40 grand is not a whole lot of money for a margin to work with, so.
Alright.
SOTS we talked about, we're done there. That came in nominal increase 0.3%. That's all I have. Talk about everything else, so. What I'll do, like I said, I'm going on vacation tomorrow for the rest of the week. I'll be back on Monday. I've already started getting this stuff into the accounting program. I will get a tentative budget over to Nikki hopefully Monday. And then that can get presented to the board as a tentative on Tuesday for,
Okay.
you know, acceptance or whatever, and then we can schedule a public hearing, do all that good stuff.
So if we wanna make any changes, it has to be before the public hearing?
Alright, then,
Anything in the budget can change up until adoption, with the exception
Of
of
salaries,
just the elected salaries.
right, so salaries can change between now and public hearing. And they're set, and then we can make a change between public hearing and when it's written in stone.
Right.
Okay,
Public hearing will be November, I assume, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
calendar something, so.
It would probably be at the November meeting.
So the suggested date for adoption is September 30th for the tentative budget to the clerk, and she would submit it
Which is
by
today.
October 5th. So we're plus or minus a couple of days here. Public hearing is typically a Thursday after election day. And the budget has to be adopted by November 20th.
so Thursday after.
Election Tuesday was what, the fourth?
Can we do the public hearing on when during our November
Sixth or
meeting?
seventh?
When is our November meeting?
I see that.
Election day is the first Tuesday. But it's gotta be by the
Oh,
third.
public hearing
Election day's the fifth.
Thursday after
12th
election.
is our meeting.
Public hearing Thursday after election
Which
day.
would be seventh.
Is that the seventh or is that the 14th?
It's the seventh.
So we couldn't have the public hearing on our board meeting night, then it'd have to be before that. Or could it be that? I mean, I'm just trying to find that.
Public hearing on the preliminary budget after public notice, 5 days prior to hearing. So I think, yeah, you're looking by that, you're looking at the 7th.
Does it have to be the seventh or can we pick like their?
I'm just going up.
We're just going on the. There we go.
I mean, I'm just trying to decide if we have to have a special meeting or can we have a schedule our public hearing at a regular. Board meeting, so that's what you've done other years is usually the public hearing has been scheduled with the. Board meeting just as part of it, so.
You know what we did last?
Last
We
week.
have separate meetings. Sure.
Go back to my calendar last year.
Really? We had public hearings on the tax cap override.
We did not have a meeting on. Election day was the 7th last year. We did not have a meeting on the 9th. We had a meeting on like we always do on the 14th.
So just do it the same night, public hearing. Do that in there.
I don't,
That's what we'll plan.
Well, make a note of it, cause we'll have to announce that at the meeting, so Nikki can get it posted.
Yes.
So,
that works out well because the meeting for Pompey or for Lafayette is
you gonna
Thursday.
remember?
that Thursday.
You gonna remember? Okay, cause I won't. I would have to write it down.
All right, so we're going 6:30 and 12th, as we always do.
Just gotta get the notice out.
Yeah, we usually do the public hearings, well, first, and then we'll have the regular, meeting, right? Yeah, or whichever way.
That's how we did last year.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting in my chair.
I know it. It's good.
All right.
There's any comments on anything there? We have to look for.
I mean,
I don't think we'll look for, they don't, there's
It's
no
just
comments, right? There's.
No, this is just so they can hear what we're saying.
Yeah, it's not a public comment period, it's just a.
No, it's just. Have we covered everything, you
I
think?
think that's it. there's a few gaps, but this will change slightly, but I think. You know, right now, we're in pretty good shape. The only fund balance we're using is in the highway fund. There's plenty of it. We're gonna take $2,000 out of that fund balance and put it into reserve for equipment.
$2,000.
Yeah, $2,000, just $2,000, 200,000, sorry. But a lot.
About $2,000.
$2,000, yeah, we're gonna start chipping away. Maybe in 20 years, we'll be able to take a down payment on
Yeah.
that truck for it.
Buy some tires.
Yeah.
One tire.
Yeah, that's it.
Not what you're putting it on.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
No.
So I think. There's some things to work up over. Right now, it's in fairly good shape.
All right.
I have to say 3.6 is a lot lower than what I thought you were going to
Well,
say.
The things we talked about, I mean, there's really, everything is plus or minus a few percent, you know, there's a couple of big things. But
Yeah, but I expected like 6, 7, and then we were gonna have to figure out how we were gonna get down to.
the thing that really that works out well is we didn't use fund balance last year.
Mhm.
So it keeps it increase in property taxes.
We don't wanna use it all up either. Anybody else got any questions?
What was the final number? I had to take a call. Are
Uh,
we thinking in the ballpark?
we're slightly under
Okay,
the tax cap right now.
but I do think we are gonna do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so at the next meeting, we're gonna have to have that drawn up
The override.
for the override, for the tax cap.
I think Dave was.
So we need two public hearings, oh, tax cap. Right, because there's gonna be public hearing separate for that.
A public hearing?
That requires a public hearing for the tax cap override. Isn't
We're
it?
Doing a public hearing for that.
I don't think there's a public hearing. I think
No.
it's just a
No,
resolution.
Just resolution? I thought we had to have a do a tax, I thought there had to be a public hearing on that.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Do you remember? I'm just asking.
I know.
Will be a text
Be at
meeting.
this upcoming meeting. Dave Capriati is gonna, we talked about this, I think, at the last board meeting. He's gonna draft that up, if I remember correctly.
Just touch
He's
base
gonna-
with him,
he's gonna
make sure
draft-
he's doing it. Yeah.
Cause we got that one, and then we got the, for the budget, public hearing. Yeah, but that resolution has to be made.
That
or
is,
that-
right, so it has to be announced and scheduled at the next
Yep.
board meeting.
So, gonna be busy at the next board meeting. Anything else?
Yeah, no, not for me.
Good.
Okay, guess we'll close the meeting. Motion to close the meeting.
Yeah,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye. Perfect. Sometimes.
Nice.
Gotta turn that off.
Good.
Just in time. James, you're gonna be early.
Oh, not bad. It's gonna be good. She's doing driver's ed. I get to go pick her up.
Should let her drive home.
Oh, she, I don't know, she wants to, she's been driving around.
So, Brian, you are.